Hello, 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 and welcome back to Key to Learn English, the podcast where we talk about real English, real emotions, and real life. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ryan. And today, I have to be honest with you. Today's topic is one that I think is going to touch a lot of people very deeply, because we're going to talk about something that many people feel but rarely say out loud.
Today's topic is when you feel like nobody supports you. And I want to say something before we even begin. If you clicked on this episode today, if this title spoke to you, then this podcast is made for you. You are not alone. And in the next 30 minutes or so, I hope you feel that.
This is a B1 level English episode, so the language is clear, natural, and real. The kind of English that helps you not just in exams, but in life. When you need to express feelings, describe difficult situations, or understand the people around you, all of that is here today.
And as always, we have our famous word tour near the end. 8 powerful expressions from today's episode. So stay with us all the way through. You will want to hear those.
But first, if this podcast is helping your English journey, please take 1 second to like this episode and subscribe to Key to Learn English. And if you have a friend who is going through something difficult right now, share this with them. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is simply say, "Hey, I was thinking of you."
That is so beautiful and so true. Okay, Ryan, let's begin. Because this topic deserves our full heart today.
It really does. So let me ask you something, Sarah. Have you ever been working toward a goal, something you believed in deeply, and the people around you just didn't get it? They didn't encourage you. They didn't ask how it was going. And sometimes they even said things that made you feel smaller instead of bigger.
Ryan, I think almost every person listening right now just nodded. Because yes, absolutely yes. And that feeling, that quiet, lonely feeling of doing something important completely alone, it is one of the hardest feelings in the world.
Let's start by being very honest about what this feeling actually is, because I think it's important to name it clearly, especially for our English learners, because naming feelings in a language is one of the deepest skills you can develop.
And so true. In English, there are so many words for this feeling, and each word captures something slightly different. You might feel unsupported, which means the people around you are not helping you or encouraging you. You might feel alone in your journey, like you are the only one who believes in what you are doing.
You might feel misunderstood, which means the people around you don't really see who you are or what you're trying to do. Or you might feel invisible, like even when you speak, nobody is really listening. Like your feelings and your efforts simply don't register to the people who are supposed to care.
And here is what makes this feeling so painful. It is usually not strangers who make us feel this way. It is the people closest to us, family, friends, the people we love. And that gap between how much we love them and how unsupported we feel, that gap hurts in a very specific way.
Because you don't need support from the whole world. You just need it from your world, from the small, important circle of people you trust. And when that circle feels empty, when you look around and there's nobody cheering for you, it can make you question everything, including yourself.
And I want to say something important here. Feeling unsupported does not always mean nobody cares about you. Sometimes the people who love us simply don't know how to show it. Sometimes they are scared of our growth because it reminds them of their own unlived dreams. Sometimes they don't understand your goal because it is bigger than anything they have experienced themselves.
That's such a compassionate and honest way to look at it. It doesn't erase the pain, because the pain is real. But it opens a little space to understand why people behave the way they do. And understanding, even a little, always helps.
It does. Although, I also want to say, sometimes people are just unsupportive, and there isn't a beautiful reason. And that's okay to acknowledge too. You don't have to find an excuse for everyone. Sometimes people just don't show up for you, and you are allowed to feel sad about that.
Completely. Because the feeling is valid, it is real, and you deserve to have it acknowledged. Not fixed immediately, not explained away, just acknowledged. So let's do that right now. If you are going through this, your feelings make complete sense. And this episode is here for you.
Okay, let's go a little deeper. Because I think one of the most confusing parts of this experience is the why. Why? Why would the people who love me not support my dream? Why would my family not be proud of what I'm working toward? Why does my friend seem uncomfortable every time I make progress?
These are genuinely important questions, and the answers are uncomfortable, but they are also very freeing once you understand them. Because when you understand why people behave a certain way, you stop taking it so personally. And that can change everything.
The first reason is fear. Not your fear, their fear. When someone you love starts growing, changing, reaching for something new, it can feel threatening to people who are staying still. Not because they want to hurt you, but because your movement highlights their own stillness. Your courage reminds them of their own fear.
I've seen this so many times. A person starts learning English, or starts a business, or starts going to the gym, and instead of getting support from friends, they get jokes, sarcasm, doubt, small comments like, "Oh, so now you think you're special?" Or, "How long will this last?"
And those words, those small, careless words, they land like stones. But here's what those words often really mean. I am afraid. I am afraid you will succeed and leave me behind. I am afraid to try something myself. I am afraid that your growth means something about my own life.
That reframe is so powerful and so true. Because truly unsupportive people are almost never thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves, their fears, their regrets, their limitations. And you are just the mirror that made those things visible.
Which is not your job, by the way. You did not sign up to be anyone's mirror. You signed up to build your own life.
The second reason people don't support us is simpler. They genuinely don't understand. They have never learned a new language as an adult. They have never tried to change their life after 30. They have never experienced the discipline and vulnerability it takes to grow, so they cannot imagine it. And what people cannot imagine, they often dismiss.
And this is not cruelty. This is just a limit of experience. Someone who has never tried to swim cannot teach you how to swim. Someone who has never dared to dream cannot fully celebrate your daring. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means they are working from a smaller map.
And the third reason, and this one is delicate, is that sometimes we expect support that people were never capable of giving. Maybe your parents grew up in an environment where dreams were dangerous, where stability was everything, where taking risks was irresponsible. And so when you take a risk, they see danger, not possibility.
That doesn't make it hurt less, but it does help explain it. And when we understand where people are coming from, when we stop expecting someone to give us something they genuinely don't have, we free ourselves from a very heavy and unfair expectation.
Okay, this is the section I feel most strongly about. Because I think there is a very dangerous habit that many people develop when they feel unsupported. And it is this: they wait.
Waiting. Tell us more, Ryan. What are they waiting for?
They wait for someone to tell them they are good enough. They wait for someone to say, "Yes, you can do this. I believe in you." They wait for their family to approve, for their friends to get excited, For someone important in their life to give them permission to pursue what they want.
And while they wait, weeks pass, months pass, sometimes years. The dream stays exactly where it was, waiting, because it was made conditional. It was made dependent on other people's validation.
And here is the painful truth about that. The people whose validation you are waiting for, they may never give it. Not because you don't deserve it, but because they are not able to. Because of their own fears, their own history, their own limitations. And if you make your progress conditional on their approval, you may wait forever.
And you deserve more than forever. You deserve now. You deserve to start now, grow now, believe in yourself now, without anyone's permission. Because here's the thing that nobody tells you enough. You do not need external validation to pursue something meaningful. You just need internal conviction.
Internal conviction. I love that phrase. The belief that lives inside you, quiet, steady, sometimes fragile, that says, this matters. I matter. What I am working toward is worth the effort, even if no one is watching, even if no one is clapping.
And I want to say something to every single person listening who is working on their English right now. Often alone, often without anyone encouraging them, maybe even with people laughing at them or doubting them. You chose to learn. You chose to show up. You chose to press play on this podcast today. That is not nothing. That is extraordinary.
It really is. Because learning a language, especially as an adult, is one of the most vulnerable, courageous things a person can do. You sound different. You make mistakes in front of people. You feel embarrassed and still continue. That takes real bravery. And if nobody in your life has said that to you lately, let us say it right now.
We are proud of you. We see you. And we believe in what you are building, even on the days when you don't.
I hope that landed, because we mean it completely. Now let's talk about what you actually do, practically, when you feel unsupported. Because feeling understood is wonderful, but tools are also necessary.
Okay, real practical human advice. This is what we love. Ryan, let's go.
First thing, and this might surprise you, stop trying to convince the people who don't believe in you. I know, your first instinct is to prove yourself to them, to show them the results, to explain your plan, to make them understand. But here's the reality. People who are not ready to support you cannot be argued into supporting you. You cannot logic your way into someone else's belief.
And every time you try, every time you seek validation from someone who is not giving it, you give them the power to define your worth. And that is too much power to give to anyone, especially someone who doesn't fully understand what you are doing.
So instead, redirect that energy. Put it back into the work, into the practice, into the progress. Because results are not just outcomes. Results are also the most powerful reply to doubt. Not because you're proving them wrong, but because you are proving yourself right.
Second, find your people. And I don't mean replace your family or your friends. I mean, in addition to them, find people who are on a similar journey. Other English learners, a community online, a study group, a podcast comment section like ours. Real places where people are working toward the same things you are and actually get what it costs.
Because being around people who understand your journey, even just online, even just through a podcast, changes everything. It reminds you that you are not strange for caring about this. You are not unrealistic for having this goal. You are simply a person who is growing. And there are millions of people doing exactly the same thing.
Third, become your own supporter. This is the deepest and most important one. Because external support is wonderful, but it is not guaranteed. The one person who will always be with you, on the hard mornings, in the moments of doubt, in the middle of every difficult week, is you. And that relationship deserves investment.
Talk to yourself the way a good friend would. When you make a mistake in English, don't say, "I'm so stupid, I'll never get this." Say, "Okay, that was wrong. Now I know. I'm getting better." When you miss a day of study, don't say, "I'm hopeless." Say, "I missed one day. I come back tomorrow. This is not over."
The voice inside your head is the most powerful support system you will ever have. And most people never train it. They let it run on old programming, fear, criticism, doubt that came from other people and other times. You can change that voice. Slowly, deliberately, with practice. And it is one of the most worthwhile things you will ever do for yourself.
Fourth, protect your dream. Not everyone needs to know everything about what you are building. Some things are sacred. Some goals are too new and too fragile to be shared with people who might not treat them with care. It's okay to keep parts of your journey private until they are strong enough to survive someone else's doubt.
Think of your dream like a small plant. It needs water, light, and time before it can survive a storm. Share it with the sun first. Share it with safe people, even if there are very few of them. And let it grow strong before you expose it to the wind.
That might be the most beautiful metaphor we have ever used on this podcast. And fifth, celebrate yourself. Do not wait for others to celebrate your progress. Every new word you learn, celebrate it. Every conversation you have in English, celebrate it. Every episode you finish, celebrate it. Because if you only feel progress when someone else notices, you will miss most of your own journey.
The milestones are yours. The growth is yours. The dedication is yours. Don't wait for applause that might not come. Learn to be your own standing ovation. Because you have earned it. Every single day you showed up, you earned it.
Word tour time. 8 beautiful, powerful English expressions from today's episode. Let's go.
Expression number 1, feel unsupported. To feel unsupported means to have the feeling that the people around you are not helping, encouraging, or believing in you. For example, she worked very hard every day, but she often felt unsupported because no one in her family asked about her progress.
Number 2, feel misunderstood. To feel misunderstood means to have the feeling that other people don't really see or understand who you are, what you want, or why you do what you do. For example, he tried to explain his dream many times, but he always felt misunderstood, like no one could see what he was imagining.
Number 3, seek validation. To seek validation means to look for approval, praise, or confirmation from other people. To need someone else to tell you that you are good enough or that your idea is worth pursuing. For example, she spent too much time seeking validation from others instead of trusting her own judgment.
Number 4, self-belief. Self-belief is the confidence and trust you have in yourself, the inner conviction that you are capable of achieving what you are working toward, even when others doubt you. For example, his family didn't understand his goal, but his self-belief was so strong that he kept going anyway.
Number 5, stand your ground. To stand your ground means to hold firmly to your position, your decision, or your belief. To not change or give up just because someone is pressuring you or doubting you. For example, people told her she was too old to learn English fluently, but she stood her ground and proved them wrong.
Number 6, Go it alone. To go it alone means to do something without help or support from others, to proceed independently, even when you wish someone was beside you. For example, he had no mentor, no community, no one to guide him. He had to go it alone, and he did.
Number 7. Be your own cheerleader. To be your own cheerleader means to encourage, celebrate, and motivate yourself. To give yourself the support and praise that you might not receive from others. For example, when no one noticed her improvement, she learned to be her own cheerleader, and that changed everything.
And number 8, find your tribe. To find your tribe means to find a group of people who share your values, your interests, and your way of seeing the world. People who truly get you and make you feel that you belong. For example, after months of studying alone, she found an online English community and finally felt like she had found her tribe.
Let's say them all. Feel unsupported. Feel misunderstood. Seek validation. Self-belief. Stand your ground. Go it alone. Be your own cheerleader. Find your tribe. Write those down, learn them, use them. They are yours now.
Comment challenge time. And this one comes straight from the heart of today's episode.
Here it is. Go to the comments right now and finish this sentence. One thing I do to support myself when I feel alone in my journey is... And be honest. Be real. Be you.
Maybe it's, one thing I do is listen to this podcast, which we obviously love to hear. Or maybe it's, one thing I do is write in a journal. Or, one thing I do is remind myself of how far I have come.
There are no wrong answers. Every answer is a small act of self-awareness. And when you write it, you are not only practicing English. You are saying to yourself, I see me. I am taking care of me. And that matters more than you know.
And when you read other people's answers, you will realize something beautiful. You are not alone. There are people all over the world, in so many different countries, going through exactly the same journey. Learning English with no support, building something with no applause, and still showing up, just like you.
Before we say goodbye today, I want to say one more thing. And I want to say it slowly, because I want it to land properly.
Go ahead, Sarah.
The fact that nobody is supporting you does not mean your dream is wrong. It does not mean you are wrong. It does not mean you should stop. Sometimes the most important journeys are the ones you walk alone for a while, until the path becomes clear enough for others to follow. And sometimes the most powerful thing you will ever do is be the first person in your world to believe in something before anyone else can see it.
You are building something real. Your English is growing, even when it doesn't feel like it. Your confidence is building, even on the days when it hides. And every single time you choose to keep going, even without support, even without applause, you are becoming someone extraordinary.
So subscribe to Key to Learn English, because we will always be here. We will always be cheering for you. And we will never stop believing in what you are capable of.
This has been Ryan.
And this has been Sarah. You are not alone. We see you. And we will see you in the next episode.
Bye for now. Keep going. You are closer than you think.